I don't know about no funny story, but I know about a fight that we had.
That's what we want to hear then.
I remember I got into a fight with my older sister, and
So my brother was teasing her about a hairstyle that she did on my head. She kept telling him over and over, leave us alone, shut up, get out. He didn't listen.
she picked up this comb and just stabbed me right in the shoulder.
He was bleeding, so we had to stop doing the hair and make sure he was okay.
I'm just like, all right, I give up. You too much.
He never said anything else about my hair after he got his first stab wound.
They all got along good, but they had their times where they would have their arguments and their fights. But overall, they very close.
Family was the most important thing. We are a very close-knit family, very attached to each other.
He was more or less of a mother's boy. He always hung under me. Wherever I went, you would see him.
Growing up in Lincoln Heights, there was a lot of trouble, but my mother standing on top of me kept me away from the whole violence and drugs.
It is difficult raising kids there, especially when you want your kids to go down the right path, because you had kids that ran the streets a lot, hung out on corners.
You go back to Lincoln Heights now, like there's nobody there. Like everybody's either in jail or dead.
Rising above it is what sports does for them here. That's why we try so hard to keep our sports here and keep our kids off the street and keep them into something positive. The first time I seen him on the field, walking down, I looked at his size, I said, who is this big kid here? And I hope he's on my team.
Once I seen him start playing with the little youth team, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. My kid is good in football, you know.
His parents were always at the games, and you know, when your parents are there, you excel that much more. You try that much harder, knowing that somebody's watching you.
It was one Saturday morning, he had a football game against another league team, and
I broke out to the left, you know, got to the sideline. I just so happened she was like right there on the sideline that I was running towards.
before I know it, I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, he's great to take off. And when he took off, I just took off with him.
His mother ran down the sidelines with him as if we handed her the football. And I'm looking like, Vet, you can't run with him.
I think I was overexcited that, you know, he was running. I knew he was gonna make that touchdown. He still laughs to this day about that.
Like a lot of guys that I knew growing up, either were like going to jail or getting killed. And, I mean, these are the guys that I was growing up with, hanging out with. So I thought to myself, I needed to take a different route. I was fortunate enough to have that option, to have my grandparents in Florida already. A lot of guys don't have family like, you know, outside of Lincoln Heights or Cincinnati, so they can't really go anywhere. They're pretty much stuck.
You know, I told my sister, I said, you know, I'm gonna take him and his little friend back with me and bring him down to Naples, show him a good time. And he came down here and was hooked.
He said, well, you think it's okay if I can move to Naples, Florida with my grandmother? He always been with me, always, out of all of my kids. He always been the one that stuck by me. So I was sad, you know. I didn't want to feel like a less of a parent, but I was afraid he was going to either end up dead or in jail. I want to do what's best for him, so I went ahead and just sent him.
It was hard for her to let him come down here on vacation for that summer. So when she finally said yes, you know, we were in shock, but we all knew it was for the best.
When I moved to Naples, I wasn't planning on playing football at all. When I got there, I was just, you know, looking for a fresh start, a reset button.
His main concern was just getting away. But I told him, if you want to play sports, you have to keep your grades up.
You know, one day I'm just leaving school I walked past the weight room and the football team is now working out.
Called him over and said, "What's your name?" And he said, "I'm Carlos Hyde." And I asked him if he played football. He said he had, but he really hadn't played that year. We happened to have the best running back coach in the state on our campus, and I asked him if he'd like to meet him. He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Hi, I'm Bill Kramer."
Carlos was a quick blend to our team. I think Carlos was motivated most by his friends. He didn't want to let his buddies down. That was unique to that class. That class, their bonds were so strong. If they had thought about letting somebody else down, they couldn't do it.
He had a lot of friends that attracted to him. It was amazing to see him hanging with a group of positive people that are going in the right direction.
When I moved to Florida, I really became into fishing. Like, just a way, you know, to get away from everything, you know, to ease your mind. And all my buddies fished though. All my friends I had on the team, everybody fished. That was like the thing to do. Like, if we wasn't playing football, it was like, all right, we going fishing.
He just did a whole turnaround. He turned into another whole person. And I'm just proud of him that, you know, he went down there and did what he was supposed to do.
2007, he was a junior. We dominated every game. There was really not much competition through that entire regular season. And we're playing Glade Central, and he makes this ridiculous, like, spin, hop over a dude, jump cut, burst.
I hurdled a guy and scored a touchdown. That run right there really let me know that I can really take this to another level.
I mean, at that point, I'm thinking this is the real deal.
Going into the state championship game, we were undefeated.
Carlos was banged up, but he was probably the healthiest dude we had, and we just put everything on his back. He was instrumental in us winning that game for sure.
Kind of went down in history at Naples High. And then it helped me also with college, because after that I had all these scholarships.
And I asked him very early on, you know, hey, where do you want to play college football? And I don't know if he'd thought about that.
What I was growing up around, I mean, college didn't look like it was gonna happen. After my junior year, I had 13 D1 scholarships. Then I was like, wow, I'm really about to go to college now.
He said, my favorite team's Ohio State. If I could play at Ohio State, that would be awesome. If there's anybody else you're interested in, no. You've got Florida schools that are right here, no. If Ohio State's an option, I'm going to Ohio State.
They actually came and offered me, and then that was a chance for me to go back home. Making the decision to go back to Ohio was based off my mother. I didn't really care what they had to offer, honestly. I just wanted to be close to her. Now it put me in a position to look after my mom, because that's what I always wanted to do anyway when I was playing football as a kid, was to grow up, make it to the NFL, get my mom a house, get her a car, and let her live stress-free. That was my big plan, and I've done that.